You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Action.
Action.
I say action.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You say it again then.
Action.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. You know our game. We pick an actor, and then we each discuss what we feel is their three best roles.
Yes.
Today's actor
Who?
is Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Love him. God,
Yes.
So great. All right.
Been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Please
Really great.
like, subscribe, share, comment. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook. Please, we'd love to hear from you. Love to have your support.
All right. I got a question for you.
Okay.
As we do.
As we do.
Excuse me. This is kind of a weird one, and there's no correct answer, I think. What
G7.
Oh my God.
That is the correct answer.
That is
isn't
the
it?
correct answer.
I knew
Oh
it.
my God. All right. Well,
I guess we're done here. That's a wrap. No?
Do you think comic book movies are running out of gas?
Okay. Oh, okay. So the question.
That's my question. Yeah.
I
I mean, the whole MCU
Okay.
Endgame, like that whole storyline that they took 12 years to tell. That's done. They're moving on to a next thing. Movies are so disrupted by the pandemic and everything right now. It feels like there's a weird loss of momentum.
Yeah, a little bit.
But,
Okay.
but I wonder if you think that
If that genre is
if that's
okay,
kind of
all right. Okay, we'll talk about that one.
yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and like, what do you think? Might be the next kind of thing. If you think there will be.
Okay,
all right.
We'll
But
talk. Okay.
but let's do that. But today we're talking about
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Steve Martin, classic. I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead, please.
All right. So Steve Martin, one of the best. Been around a million years. I can't think of something of his that I have that I don't like. So. And what was really, really fun about prepping for this was revisiting some of my favorite Steve Martin movies. Yeah. So I'm going to start this off with Bowfinger.
Okay.
Bowfinger. If you're not familiar with it, it wasn't a big movie.
Yeah, I don't think it did well
it
necessarily.
It was fine. It was kind of in and around that time where he was doing like Cheaper by the Dozen, and then there was that weird movie with Queen Latifah where she's like squatting in his house or something like that.
Yeah.
And that I can't even remember the name of.
I can't remember.
So yeah, exactly.
I know the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know the title.
Exactly. It was a weird kind of time for him. But Bowfinger is where he plays like this down and out movie producer. And he's never had a hit, but he's just like, he wants to have a hit. And he's just constantly trying, and he's a little bit of a shyster. And he finally gets this great script from like his accountant or something like that. It's a script, Heavy Rain. It's a script that he thinks that he can make. And he just cons his way through making this movie. Once another movie about making movies.
Oh, yeah.
And what I really love about it is his portrayal of a character who is just optimism personified.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, we can do this, and it's just, we got a problem, let's solve it. We need to we're going to shoot this movie with, and one of the big sort of plot points is that he's going to shoot this movie without a big name actor knowing that he's in it. And highly recommend it. So, and he finds, about halfway through, he finds this big actor's twin brother. And both brothers are played by Eddie Murphy. And so the big actor type is your typical big actor type. He's, confident and tons of money, super successful. And his brother is, God, I don't remember what the brother does, but it doesn't really matter because he's kind of an idiot. And like when they were auditioning him, and this is one of the best lines in the whole movie. Steve Martin asks him, "Would you be willing to cut your hair?" He's just like, "Well, it's better if somebody else does it, but if I have to." So I mean, it's absurd.
Yes,
Christine Baranski's in it. She's fantastic. But it's just that the guy's probably like in his 40s or 50s, and he's just super optimistic. And yes, we can do this.
Yes.
And it's so great. There's just so much energy in there, and it's a real lesson. And you know what? If you want to make a movie, just go shoot something and get it done. And it might be awful, but it might be fantastic.
Go out there, full board, just attack.
His whole big thing was that, is he's given like this big rousing speech to the troops, folks that he's just sort of cajoled into being part of this project, where he's just like, one of these days that FedEx guy is going to stop here and he's going to hand me an envelope, but it's going to be a go picture, and it'll be for me, mostly me, probably not a lot of you, but mostly for me. He's selfish, but he's so damn charming, and his enthusiasm for this project is so infectious that you just can't help but want to root for him, even though he's kind of a jerk, kind of, but he's
a movie jerk.
He's a movie jerk.
So
exactly. He's passionate. So I really, really love that role because it is so huge and high energy and optimistic and just fantastic. So another one for me for Steve Martin would be Spanish Prisoner.
Okay.
Because it is the complete opposite of what I think have come to expect from Steve Martin, or what up to that point we could expect from Steve Martin. I think it was one of his earlier serious roles, and it is, if you think Steve Martin, or at the time that movie came out, if you thought Steve Martin, you thought wild and crazy guy, arrow through his head, and he's playing, crazy out of their characters, and this was just so chill. He was so mellow, almost just cool, and you spent that movie wondering, who is this guy? What is this guy about? What is
the connection?
Deal? What is happening? Yeah. And Steve Martin usually plays a likable guy, and you're on his side.
At the very least, right.
And
he's likable in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
And in Spanish Prisoner, he is just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This guy's not a good guy.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
We have to keep our eye on this guy and not for the normal, keep an eye on him because he's going to say something funny.
He's not the father of the bride. He's not running around crazy in Parenthood. He's not in, the fire chief in Roxanne. He's a conniving, low-down con man. And it's a great role. It's fantastic.
It is, I agree.
You're hanging on his every word, just trying to get.
That's an interesting movie too.
Here. It really is. Everybody in
all
it is
around.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just like, what is going on? What are you doing to me, Steve? You're usually kind of just high energy, and this, you're not doing much, and it's kind of freaking me out, man. What's happening? Just fantastic.
Yes, it definitely has its rewards when you watch that movie. It's not what we knew him to be.
Yeah.
And no, I agree. Yeah. That's a good one.
My next one is Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. Alrighty.
It is. It says a lot about his role in it, where he's playing the crazy dentist and Bill Murray is playing the patient who just loves the pain. And Rick Moranis is great in that movie, but anytime I think about that movie, all I think about is the Steve Martin, Bill Murray scene, because that's the Steve Martin we know. He's big and he's huge and he's crazy and he's a little terrifying, but it's ridiculously funny. And to see these two together, I mean, they did Saturday Night Live stuff together.
Yeah.
And to see these two geniuses working together,
act and react.
Yes, they're so much fun they're just playing together.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh yeah. And Bill Murray is just like, yeah, bring on the pain, bring on the pain. And Steve Martin's just like, oh, all right, you want more pain? He's just kind of like, what is up with this guy? He's just, get out of here, you freak, you know? And it's just super fun. And like I said, it's a great movie all around, but that performance is, for me, the touchstone for that movie. And Steve Martin just absolutely kills it, and is quintessential Steve Martin right there, where he gets to be big and weird and crazy.
Yes.
And it's that's my Steve Martin.
He's a comedic genius.
Oh, clearly.
And it translates perfectly to movies. You know, it really does. He's not just like somebody who's a stand-up comedian who might not really be able to act. No, he's funny. He writes and he thinks funny.
Oh, yeah.
And when it comes to acting, he can act funny, or at least poignant. You know what I mean? That humor will come out. And so, which is why I like that you picked Spanish Prisoner, because it's not that way at all.
No, not at all.
But my picks would be The Jerk. That's the first one I'm coming up with, because it's we knew of him definitely before. We had a TV presence. He had a comedy album, stand up, that sort of thing. In The Jerk, which is kind of a misnomer. He's really not a jerk.
No,
he's more he's just naive.
Yeah.
And so he just plays it so, he's simple, he's naive, he just knows nothing of the outside world, we'll call it.
Nothing at all.
But he goes out to strike his fortune in the real world, we'll call it. And it's wonderful.
He's this ridiculous man-child.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it the jerk, maybe the idiot.
Yeah, he's just naive, but he's got a great spirit. Just really does. He loves his family, which is a different situation, and but he needs to leave. He needs to go out and
find his purpose.
And so, but not his special purpose.
Not his special purpose.
No, because his mother told him about his special purpose.
Told him about his special purpose. Don't let anybody touch his special purpose.
You said it. That's different. So it's just a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go out there. It might be a little dated. Things might not fly today in a movie, but it's not done, I don't think, in a bad way.
No, I don't think so.
It's just, but look at that. His character is just he's just effusive. He's excited.
Yeah.
He's like a puppy dog in a way. He's like unleashed on the world, but then of course there's ups and downs. But I just love that. That's like, we get to see him. Like we had seen Steve Martin before, like TV and this now, but there's like little snippets, little skits. But now we get to see a whole movie.
Yeah.
And he's just great.
And he's great.
He's wonderful. And so that one will always just kind of stick in my mind. And it's like the first big one that he's in, and it's that's going to be, the springboard to other things. And so I just love the movie. Like I said, he's just this wonderful character. So that would be, the first one I'm coming up with. Second one is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh, yeah.
Which he's teamed up with, or eventually gets teamed up with, Michael Caine. And I love the fact that they play so well together, because they don't play well together in the movie.
The actors play well
the
together.
actors play well together. The characters do not play well together.
Yeah, no. That pairing is fantastic.
It is, isn't
really
it?
is.
And there's a common purpose, and the common purpose is not a noble one. It's to bilk rich women out of money, and they're on the French Riviera, and but the difference is Michael Caine is a little more established. He actually has a physical residence. He's established himself over working this craft, however.
And he's just so refined and put together.
He's worked at it longer.
Yeah. And Steve Martin.
And Steve Martin's more on the smaller, he's like on a little smaller level, but he realizes that there's money to be had in this wonderful Riviera town. And but then there's conflict when Michael Caine finds out, hey, do I have competition?
Yeah.
And then there's all that stuff. And then there's a third character brought in, and that's gonna add more tension and the different stuff. But it's funny because he's conniving. He's still funny, just so funny, but he's conniving. There's nothing noble in the sense like with his other character, Naven in The Jerk. There is a certain nobility of him, even though he's very naive and innocent. He's just a nice guy.
Yeah.
The other, in this one, he's still funny, but he's not very
He's
nice.
he's just a little bit more fast and loose, and he's kind of a con man, but
he's kind of greasy, and he's like, he's just kind of a sleazeball kind of thing, but he's just so funny about it.
I watched that a couple of years ago, and I had totally forgotten. It was one of those, I forgot that he's in that. Ian McDiarmid is in that. So it's just Palpatine is Michael Caine's butler. Oh my God. It cracks me up.
Go get him,
Senator. It was pretty funny. See the butler? No, he's the Senate. It's so weird. And I am the Senate getting my shoes. So, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
I just love it. It's almost too like at that one. He allows himself to. I mean, it's comedy all the way through and funny, and some of the scenes are crazy and off the wall, but it's almost like he allows himself to be a bad guy, even though he's not a bad guy, because a lot of his other stuff was not like evil. Like it's something to look, so I just love how he can play that, and Michael Caine is great. So they play really well in this movie together. It's just a great little plot in that one. I love that one, and so that one, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, definitely sticks in my mind. So that would be a second pick, and my third pick. I'm glad you went with The Spanish Prisoner because that was the one that was like on the edge, but I ended up going with Parenthood. That was the third one, and I really love that movie. It's a Ron Howard movie. It's got a great cast. We've mentioned it before.
We mentioned it with
maybe Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
I think was the one. It's a great one. It's a multi-generational.
We haven't done a Martha Plimpton episode.
No, we haven't done that one
yet. So.
So take that.
I'm not quite sure what I mean by that. I have nothing against Martha Plimpton.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
But I got to be absolutely honest. I cannot think of another Martha Plimpton movie off the top of my head. Can you? And I'm sure because she
was in that TV show Raising Hope, right?
Yeah, but she's a great character actor that's popped up in a bunch of movies and places, and I just am stupid and I can't think of anything. But anyway, Steve Martin in Parenthood.
Parenthood's great. The premise is it's a multi-generational extended family, so we're getting all these things. But the Steve Martin character, and this one, he is so. You want to say he's so genuine.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a good man, a better husband, but the greatest dad.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard.
He really is. And he drives himself insane.
Yeah. And his backstory is that his cinematic father in this movie is Jason Robards, who was not a nice dad.
Yeah.
A lot of reasons, but he was not a nice dad. And so Steve Martin is kind of tried to just rectify everything that was bad or absent or unloving or whatever that he felt his childhood was.
Yeah.
And he's going to make sure that it's not this way for his children. And so you can see him. I mean, it's very funny, it's humorous, but it's very poignant. There's stuff going on in there. So you can see him being hurt and scared when he sees his son, the older child, kind of falling into the same patterns that he would have done at that same age. And so, I mean, whether it's baseball or playing, Little League or something, you could just see him and he just wants to make everything right.
Perfect.
And just,
and
everything's got to be, and there's other stuff going on, but he tries so hard.
Yeah.
He just does it so well. And the theme in the movie is, as we're shown and as explained, is that life is a roller coaster. It's got its ups and downs, and
you got to ride with it.
But you ride with it, and you stick together, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And until he kind of relaxes a little bit and just tries to have a little more fun. He's not as uptight and worried about stuff. Are they expecting a new baby? I don't know.
Yeah, he does. He does. You can see it in his face, his body language.
Yeah,
he does all the right things to bring out that parental angst. So it's that was a good choice.
And he's not alone in the movie. There are other people, and they're all trying to do the same thing, their best, whatever they think is the right thing, how to raise children, how to deal with parents, even, aging, in one case, an aging grandmother. You try to, but he just, Gil is his name in the movie. That sticks in my mind, Gil. And he's just trying to do well, but it's a very funny movie, but he's not the clown. He's not silly. He's not over the top. He makes good observations. You know what I mean? But the movie it's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
And the name of the movie is Parenthood. Soon after, they actually tried to do a TV series, didn't last at all. But then much later,
then they did one.
Is another one, Parenthood, and that one was very successful. But if you get the chance to see that original movie,
really,
it's very
good.
good. Great
really
cast
good.
too.
Yeah.
So I just love them in those movies.
Yeah, no,
those are all good performances. The other good thing about, I shouldn't say good thing, maybe it was fortuitous for Steve Martin, is that physically speaking, here's a man who has gotten 40 years older, but essentially, because he was prematurely white early in his life,
his hair went white.
And so
he's been white his whole life.
Yeah, he's been white for so long.
But his hair was prematurely white.
That's right. Oh, you're mean.
Yeah.
So his hair turned white very early, and he's looked
the same for his
and so
entire
he
career.
hasn't put on weight. It's not like, because he's got to be at least 70, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
And so it's not like he's got an old man paunch or anything. He's really looked the same his whole life. I mean, he may wear glasses now more often or something, but what I mean is he looks the same pretty much. So
yeah, good for him.
He's been with us for a long time, and he's still out there, still
look
performing.
About the same as I did 40 years ago. I look like when I'm just saying is that when I was 12, I looked
you just looked like hell when you were 12.
I looked like hell when I was 12, and I'm just sort of growing into my my beat up, dilapidated look.
Yes.
So I've grown into my age. So all right, so your three were Parenthood and The Jerk.
Yeah.
And
I should just lie and say Dead Men Don't Wear
yeah,
Plaid. Just
but it
to
was
mess you up.
the other one. I keep it's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I kept seeing like crimes and misdemeanors in my head for some reason.
Or a movie poster or something.
Yeah, weird,
Okay.
completely. So anyway, so those yours.
Your three were Bowfinger,
Yeah,
and then you had Spanish Prisoner,
yeah.
and you had hang on, don't tell me.
Oh, right.
No, it was a good
Yeah,
one too. It was a good pick.
Yeah, yeah. It's like pulling teeth, isn't it?
I know it. Ah, yes, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
Good one.
Good one. So, all right, great.
Assist.
Yes,
I got the goal, but you got the assist.
Before we do the question of the day, please remember to like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. So
even if you stop putting it at the bottom, you pointed there.
I
Just in
do.
case.
I don't know.
No, I do too all the
That's
time.
what I do. So, so comic book movies.
Oh yeah. I forgot the question. I mean, I didn't forget the question. I
So,
forgot
like, what do you think? Like in this this weird pandemic time when the whole industry is a mess.
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's be honest. It took a while for comic book movies to like really find itself, get traction, and stay.
Yeah,
because
I think
it had been like
they were like here and there. They were great, and when
some
they
were
hit,
successful,
right.
some not so much.
But after like the whole
And then
MCU,
the
whole MCU, I think built
once
they built that anticipation, and it was just like this is great. And then
I think that they are here to stay. To be honest, I think that they found that superhero movies, comic book movies, really can work, and they can work when they. I think two things make them work, and I think I can see it going on in the future because of it, is that there is great writing which allows for great characters. So not just the one lead, whatever.
Not just good guy, bad guy.
Right. And you're going to have that supporting cast. And because the writing is such, it seems like it naturally lends itself to a bigger, broader supporting cast, which will bring in that occasional big name star. And I think to have a big name, an established Hollywood person to take a bit role, not a cameo so much, but a smaller role in the thing, I think that's what makes them interesting and can keep it going, keep it fresh. So, you get more of that. Oh, there's the occasional, Michael Douglas appearing in a movie. Tilda Swinton appears in a movie. This stuff like that. Where you get Robert Redford. Yeah. And it's not weird. It doesn't look out of place anymore. It's not like, they're just slumming. They're just doing a little thing. No, it's like part of this thing. And then the second thing I think that they really have going for them, and they've really worked it and worked at it, is the interconnectivity of the whole universe.
That I think has been key.
That's like, I'm not gonna, I don't mean it like it's only on this level, but that's money in the bank. If you can get the good writing, the art part of it, you get the other thing where you can get anybody interested in one character, and then they're kind of like connected into
Yeah.
14 characters, and you're following so many things, and you're willing to try to see another movie that you may not have. So like if you were, let's just say, a big Iron Man fan, and you didn't really, and you like Iron Man, but you don't really care for some of this other stuff. If you know that there's an Ant-Man movie coming out, there would have been a time, perhaps, that you would have said, well, I don't care. I don't need to see this. I'm an Iron Man guy. But because of this interconnectivity now, it's like you don't know, is it going to show up? Is this going to somehow respond in a way that I need to be paying attention because it could affect my next movie, my next Iron Man appearance?
If they didn't have that interconnectedness, you would have an Iron Man franchise. You would have
just like they stand alone.
You might not have gone to see the Doctor Strange because that's just like, what the hell?
Exactly. How does that fit in? I don't need to see
that. And this was brilliantly done. That all of it's kind of connected. Where you might not have gone to see a Doctor Strange movie or a Black Panther movie, you're going to go see it because not only might you see those other characters, there's a piece. That's a piece of the. It's a piece of the bigger story.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's storytelling, which is the first part that I said, like you want this, you want a good script. It's you're sold on the idea that it's not a standalone script. It's the bigger picture. And I think you need to keep your eyes on everything.
Yeah, and these actors are like, all right, well, if I'm going to sign on to be in this movie, I might be signing, they're going to just like, look, movies. We got this movie and the next one, but you might end up popping in and out of 3 or 4 or 5 other movies.
Right.
And it works. I mean, the MCU is fantastic. Yeah. I wonder, we were so invested in what was going on with the Infinity Stones and Thanos and all of that. And now you've got where Disney is streaming that WandaVision show. You've got pieces that are happening in the streaming world that eventually will make the big screen world once the big screen comes back. But you could still do it with streaming. So, but I wonder if the next phase of Marvel stories will... their success in bringing lesser known properties to the forefront, they're gonna do that again with whoever's coming up next. You get the Eternals, blah blah blah. So it's gonna be really interesting to see where that goes. I don't think that comic book movies are going away.
I don't either.
Because I do think
they found how to do it.
I think they found how to do it.
Yeah.
And Marvel and Disney figured out how to do it because they're doing with Marvel and what they're doing with Star Wars. They're taking those properties, those gigantic worlds, and not only are they giving them their breadth, they're giving them depth as well. There's so much going on, and but then you look at something like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the standalone Wonder Woman movies are pretty good. Wonder Woman 1984 notwithstanding, that was a weird, I don't know what that was. It wasn't awful, but it was just a little what's going on here? So, but I think that they tried to fast forward into, Justice League way too quickly.
Yes.
Just way too fast. They should have done a couple more Batfleck.
A few more
movies. But they're so disjointed. Now there's a Robert Pattinson Batman movie going on.
There's a lot of stuff.
What them trying to get together a DC extended universe, it's going to be really, really tough because they've got to keep up with Marvel. But Marvel is like 10, 12 years ahead.
Yeah,
you can't do that in 3 or 4 or 5 years. No. But I think that overall, I think you're right. I think that the storytelling is getting better and the performances are getting better, elevated, by better people coming in because the stories are getting better, and it's a nice loop that it goes through. So you're getting better people, and I think they're saying, hey, you know what? If we have better stories, we're going to get better people. Every iteration of these Marvel stories, you see more and more Oscar caliber people popping up in them.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's fantastic.
And it's exactly what you said too. Let's just, doesn't matter who we pick, say Don Cheadle, and you sign to do a role, and you're like, okay, but then it's like, well, you know, there's a chance that, I'm not saying he's thinking this at the very beginning, but once you're involved in the movie and you're there and you see what can happen, you're like, boy, I'm a pretty busy guy, got other stuff going on. I did this Iron Man movie, and before you know it, I can be in 4 or 5 other movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just playing that character, not his other career.
And I'm not sure what happened with Terrence Howard, who was that character in the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, what happened? Because, oh my God, he would have been having great stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go on way after.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they made that change.
So I don't know.
But though I think comic book and superhero movie, they're if they're done right, the way the MCU has been working it, the way Marvel works
I think they'll be around for a long time.
It's here to stay.
Yeah, because I think the storytelling has been fantastic. So, all right, hey, let's do the bucket.
You said it. We've put ticket stubs in the popcorn bucket.
There we go. You want to look first?
Nah, go. You already got it.
All right.
I'll take it next time.
All right.
Oh, whatever.
Cool. She's awesome. It's a girl.
Yes, she is awesome.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
She'll be fun.
Yep.
So, cool. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for watching. Again, remember to like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Take care.
I say action.